Hello and welcome back to another video. In this problem, we're asked to write an equation that defines the exponential function with base b is greater than 0. So what is the basic form of the exponential function? So we have the dependent variable y is equal to the base b to our independent variable x. And this is the general exponential relationship, and then we have some constant here which completes the family, right? Now you can get any exponential relationship by some combination of a and b. For b, what is the domain of this function? Well, no matter what value you put in for x, you're going to have some value for y, right? There's no value of x for which there is no value, right? There's no invalid input for an exponent. Anything is going to give you some value. So it's all real numbers, which you can write as that, or negative infinity to infinity. If b is not equal to 1, what is the range of this function? Well, what is the range of all the values that this can take? If b to the x were on its own, then it would have the same range as if it was a times b to the x, because it goes from 0 to infinity. How do we know this, right? 0 to infinity. The highest value, right? So if we're looking at our options here, if we have, let's say, 2 to the x, 2 to a very large number is a very large number, right? That goes off to infinity. 2 to a very small number, right? 2 to the negative 100 is very, very close to 0. Therefore, if it's a positive greater than 1, then it's 0 to infinity. And if it's a fraction, 0 is less than or equal to b less than or equal to 1, it's also that. For d, we're asked to sketch this general shape of the graph of the exponential function for each of the following cases. So if b is greater than 1, then it's that 2 to the x as an example. For very small negative numbers, it's very close to 0. Then once we get into the positive numbers, it increases very quickly, as so. For b is equal to 1, this is a times 1 to the x. 1 to any power is 1, so this is a times 1. This is just y is equal to a. Just a horizontal line at that value. And let's draw this one over here. 0 is less than b is less than 1. This is that fractional. Very small for very large numbers. And as we get into very negative numbers, right, a fraction to a negative exponent is very large, so it goes off to infinity, right? The mirror image of this. And as we can see, both of them have a range of 0 to infinity. And all of these have a domain of negative infinity to infinity. That's a, b, and c, and d for this function y equals a times b to the x, the standard exponential function.